Yeah.
Alright, let's talk about second.
First, you better cap it.
Yeah, I
that's
will.
a good idea.
So, do you want to do attacking second or defending second?
Let's just do defending. May as well.
Alright, so standard positions for equal Uber. Or just equal players or whatever. Just pocket where James is, demo somewhere near there. Stickies all over this shit. Oops. Maybe some stickies on, where James is shooting. This little awful spot that
Or
people
even
hate.
some in Z, sneaky spot, or like above the door. It really depends, but like, generally, if they're brute forcing the point, like, you should just be able to destroy them here. It's kind of hard for them to spam. I mean, granted, they can have two like entrances to spam you. Like, a lot of the time they have the roamer through Z, and their combo will be pressuring the point from this left side door here. But, like, your medic should be in a position where he can't really be spammed, and a lot of the time what you can do is you just trade heals with your demo. So, you poke forward, do a bit of your spam, whatever entrances you like, typically the left side, because you don't really give a shit about their roamer. And if you get low, you back off a bit, your demo gets healed. You wait till you got a crit heal, your demo gets low. Rinse and repeat. That's like probably the most standard. A lot of the time you can also have a scout floating around here, it's really good. I mean, you don't really need any more than 1 to 2 players watching this stairs area. Like, you'll probably have a scout floating around this area.
Your roamer's almost definitely in the stairs.
In the stairs, just hiding, having a little picnic. So having a scout on the point is good, because if they do decide to like rush, scout can just do a decent amount, like a huge amount of damage to them from this mid-range area, and can easily retreat to back right if needed.
Yep. And the thing is, you don't want to hold your stickies forever as a demo. Like, again, I don't play demo. But if you got stickies up there, and you're going to be more effective, like just shooting stickies at them here, like just do it. Like, don't hold it for the 4K trap and feel like Banny forever. Like, not that Banny holds stickies, but yeah, definitely shoot them. Like, if it's going to be better, shoot them. Don't try and be Warlock, as James would say.
I mean, you definitely just want to be putting damage on them, no matter what class you are. Like, most probably pocket and demo more so, just pressuring them here, because. But the one thing you do have to keep in mind is that the ammo kit is very exposed over there. So if you time your spam badly and your reloads badly, it's like, oh crap, I've got 2 bullets, or 2 rockets rather, or 2 stickies. And you time it just as they're coming through the door, it's like a death wish, and you're gonna get destroyed. So that's just something you get a feel for after a bit. You're just like, okay, shoot a couple rockets, wait till they've shot a couple rockets, and then you go for the ammo kit. But you don't want to be spamming liberally. Like, that's something you just kind of moderate a bit. Try and make your spam count. You don't want to just be Jewel 2 spamming rockets for 500 days. You want to just try and poke a bit here, get some good damage rockets, maybe like 2, maybe 3 if you catch someone for. But as pocket, I'm just like, okay, I'm poking a bit, couple of rockets, back off, demo spams a bit, back off, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, and the old saying, which has never been said before, but you definitely don't really want to lose players first as defense on this point, and there's no real reason to do it. There's no real justification. Most likely play to die is your roamer. But even then, like, you should be able to trade most of the time. So I guess we'll talk about the flank. Usually you'll have your roamer sitting in stairs, so you'll either be here on this little place, so you do have to watch for that rocket that I showed you before that hits there. Although you should really see him. Yeah, see. Like, he can shoot from back there onto this wall, but like, it's like, then you know he's coming. And then you'll be like, alright, I'll jump down here and shoot here. Or you may be here and spamming from here, like onto here. It's most likely you've got a scout sitting just there, like calling for you. Maybe you've got some stickies here. Really in stairs, all you want to do is just deny them ground, and when they do push, get kills. Like, stairs is one of my favourite dynamics as roamer, maybe because it's just stupidly OP. But, like, there's a lot of avenue both for attacking and defending, for big trades, and just for general, like, good play. Just, like, this whole, like, the geometry here favours roamer so much, because, like, one, you don't really need to shotgun anyone, because you've got, like, it's all boxed in, so you should be able to do enough damage. And 2, like, you're kind of protected, and scouts can't really just, like, kill you by, like, self-damage, because they're, like, coming up here, and, yeah, you can get good rockets on them and stuff like that. So yeah, in stairs, just try not to die. Try and get early calls for your team with your scout as well. Try and get early calls for your team if they're coming right side. And if they are coming, like, spam it, and then get out. If they come left side, and you're too slow to rotate, you'll either die, like by trying to rotate, or you'll have to like play through here, and then maybe like look to kill the person that will inevitably come through this door, and then they'll know you're here, but you can poke into Z and just try and trade enough damage for your life. Like, you'll probably die, but if you get a kill, it's worth it almost instantly because you're stuck anyway. And if you do enough damage that slows their cap and you guys either get Uber or you get spawns, then that's also definitely worth it. Okay, what else? Nothing really else for defending, I guess. Like, there's no unconventional defending strats, like...
I mean, yeah, the weird stuff is like going through drop down, but that's if the other team's kind of dicking around. And even then, like, kind of what I was saying earlier, the same rule applies to almost any point. When you're defending, you want to try and look to just catch them off guard and be aggressive into them, force like with a single Uber and force a multi. Or even like use a multi of your own and send a scout behind and kind of just multi-jura the rest of the way and trying to get a favorable Uber out of that, and then just crush them once you get behind. Like, you don't, I'll say it time and time again, you don't want to just be sitting around defending all day. I mean, granted, this is a very good defensive position, but if you get like too caught up on the idea of defending and you give up too much ground, and if they've like half or three-quarter capped the point and they got sticky set up, and like say they've got stairs just because and killed your Roma, just because you were too set up on defending and holding that Uber, you can just probably lose the point just because they can kite your Uber so easily because they got stickies and rockets set up here and they can just run out into the yard.
Yeah.
So that's something you just really want to keep in mind every point. I'm going to reiterate it at almost every point. Try and catch the other team off guard with some aggression of your own.
Yeah, definitely. And like going drop down and stuff like that are all good plays, but only usually when it's like a transition period, which we'll talk about at the end. So like when you're pushing out of second into yard, so like you've already got a player advantage or something like that, or you've killed their med and your team wants to push, or you've got Uber advantage. Like, that's when that kind of play is good. If it's just like stay on, nothing's happening, most likely you're gonna die. Like, almost guarantee you'll probably die. So yeah. Let's talk a bit about attacking, I guess. I think that's everything for defending, honestly. I can't really think of anything else that isn't just like nuanced stuff. So, attacking... The old school attacking with an Uber advantage was something that Boat used to love, which was Demo and Scout through here. That still does work, but honestly, I think it's kind of shifted again. Like, Demo is still really important on second, but Pockets have also taken like a much bigger role, even with Uber advantage. So what would you call, do you reckon, James, with Uber advantage? Like, significant enough?
What do you mean? Like, where would we go?
Yeah, like, just what would you want the play to be, do you think? So, 6 players up, but Uber advantage.
I mean, if we're on a rush, as we were saying earlier, if we're on a rush and we've just come through the right side, force them back, a lot of the time, I'm going to like to have, like, Scout, Soldier, or Demo Scout, Uber, just on the right side, because they're not going to be super far back just yet, and you can just juggle them here, get some good damage, get some kills. Don't want to really overcommit to the med. I mean, if you get the med, it's great, but if you, like, let's say it's me and a Scout, just hypothetically. A lot of the time, not a lot of the time, like sometimes I myself will overcommit too hard and just like use 80% of the Uber just to try and get the med, and a lot of the time I'll fail, and that's pretty bad. And trading myself for absolutely nothing is just awful. And if we're dilly-dallying too long on this second point and haven't capped it, they can just re-push in here and just completely destroy us. So just want to just get kills if you can. If you get the medic, it's great, or even just the cap. I mean, you can kind of think of it as any second point. If you get the cap, it's good enough.
You're one
Uber
step closer
trade.
to last, and the respawn is so close that if you can just like get the cap and then hold it for long
and you
enough,
can just slow the game down.
Yeah. And then you can, like, you know, say if James died, like, that's one example where his overcommit would actually be worth it. If they were only at, like, 40% Uber, while it's not as good as killing them all, if the Uber's going bad already, if he jumps straight in and he's like, I've only got a second left of Uber, and he's just out here looking to die, trying to get as much damage on him, we cap the point. Like, if our med's alive, they're only at 40%, they really probably can't push in time. Like, what's most likely to happen is, like, you guys will just consolidate on second with stickies and stuff like that. And then when James spawns, you can rotate back and get a sniper up, or you can rotate back and get a heavy, or you can get a spy, or you can do any of those great, fantastic, fun things that we love to do. And yeah, just take the game that way. Like, just take it slow and play advantage and look to get picks and stuff like that.
But like the Uber advantage push I lent more and more towards to is just rush through left side. I mean, as Brad was saying earlier, pocket soldiers have just become like suddenly people have realized, hey, soldiers are actually really good on this map. So a lot of the time, the other team's probably just gonna be playing really passive. Their roamer's probably just like playing really far back instead, and you can just bully them out of stairs. Like you'll probably maybe have a scout with you, but he's not always gonna get Ubered. Probably generally just your pocket, and you just take stairs, and you've got immediate high ground. Like there may be stickies here, but if your team is pressuring them on the point while this is happening, they're going to be distracted. They're not going to really be 100% certain that you're coming here. If you just rush it quickly enough, you can either just drop onto them and Uber. If you feel real super awesome, you can just walk straight behind them with your combo, Uber onto them, land on them, kill the medic. You want to aim to like get the medic here. I mean, it's not the worst thing if you get other kills. I mean, it's crazy to get other kills. But if you get the medic here, all you have to do is just jump here, double rocket wherever the medic may be, jump out, get your medic out ideally, and just consolidate, and then play off the heal advantage.
Yeah, for sure. And while that's happening, as a roamer, you're either like, most likely you're not going to push in through top with them. You'll come in through Zed, or you'll come in through Roller, and you'll just get capped home. Like, same for maybe one of the scouts. Maybe the scouts will rush on the floor, or rush through under here, or through top, or anything. Scouts can do whatever, honestly. But like as a roamer, you're probably going to be capping. Like you really want both your scouts and your other soldier to be pushing here. I think. Like I think it's best.
Yeah, because last is really open.
Yeah.
It's just such an open area. It's just so easy for scout to just romp through and just get ground and get some good damage
and realistically, at the end of that fight, like after you cap, especially if you're using the paying chain, which you should be. Like, you're not that far behind, and from here you'll probably just, like, depending on where the call is, where they are, you'll come top, then you'll jump from top into... Preferably you would jump somewhere. Jump from top, down into here, or like across into left, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Other than that, like, there are obviously other pushes, like what James was talking about before, but instead of going up through stairs, you come through where he is now. That's kind of like more a demo-led push. I think like pocket's still useful because you can jump straight ahead, and James will probably do that. But that's one of the Ubers where you may want to take your pocket with your demo with you, I guess.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, it works both ways. I mean, as pocket, if they're really flawed, like a pocket or demo, whatever here, just work. Like, it really depends. As we will say time and time again, team strengths and weaknesses. A lot of the time I like leading the Ubers just because I like to kill things, because it's great. And if they're forward, you can just jump from here while you're Ubered, get good double rock on whoever, probably demo, probably pocket, whatever, cap the point, and then just turn that into one last point just because you got the player advantage, you've done good damage to them. The rest of your team is undamaged, the rest of their team probably is, and just get those criticals rolling and just roll through this left side, which you're already close to.
And that's one of those rare occasions where it's not like what I was talking about just before. Even though you're coming from the same side, this time as a roamer I would want to be in top. I'd want to like come out at the same time as James and look to like spam down from up there onto here, or go through there and go behind, and then you have one of your scouts rush them probably from the front, and another scout get on the point and cap. Maybe a demo, like when James jumps in like this, when he goes boom, but from further back like that, you might want to push your demo out through that door there. I mean, especially if they're all falling back, and then you have like your roamer coming through here, your demo either jumping or pushing across through there, and a scout like rushing from here, they're in big trouble. Like, that's a really dangerous situation for them. But that just depends on how big your advantage is, and again, like what your strengths and weaknesses are. So it may be totally rubbish for you to do that, or it may be awesome. Alright, last thing. Did we talk about Equal Uber already? No, we haven't.
No,
For pushing Equal Uber, the big thing you want to do is either A, get position, or B, get a kill. Most likely you're not going to be able to force their Uber on this point. It's not open enough, even as a roamer. Like, if you're going to get to there, most likely you've already satisfied either point A or point B, and you've taken position or you've killed something. So yeah.
I mean, you can look to just trade Ubers and just get out and then re-push with no Ubers, but like you're generally not really gonna just fight the point, brawl, rumble, whatever you want to call it. You're not really gonna fight the point post Uber too much, just because it's so easy for them to spam it here.
Yeah,
so
one sticky hits everyone.
Yeah, a lot of the time you'll just be taking the stairs area once either even Ubers or like no Ubers at all. Just because, you know, it's easier to spam the soldier out here. You can take it with 2 soldiers if you want. Like, their Roma is just sitting in that spot there, or wherever. If you just have some 2 soldiers spamming rockets here, like, he's going to be forced back. You can just take the stairs area for free. And after that, you've just got a lot of options. Like, you force them back, presumably. You force them to, like, have more attention to this area here, because it's a potential area that you're going to push. So, like, a lot of the time there may be a couple stickies set up here, or on this lower area here. And that gives more room for your demo to push to the point with, like, the help of the scout. Because he can just spam battle them here. Meanwhile, your pocket may be up there spamming them as well. And your demo man gets this medkit to play with, which is just fantastic. He actually doesn't need heals here. He just play.
Yeah, so while all that stuff's happening as the defending team, you may want to, like, say as the defending Roma, if you know they've got Uber advantage, you might, like, spam them a bit from here so you don't get caught, or you can, like, sit here. As soon as you see them shoot, run away, spam there, make sure they come up and not down there, so they'll come up here, you call that, run back in, grab this kit, and then you, like, just spam them here, like that, and you just kind of be annoying, and, like, your team, as defense, because we didn't kind of talk about this push, as defense, your team is probably going to be looking to, like, fall out through here, or, like, kind of poke the point, or do all that kind of stuff, just, like, whatever you can. With Uber, like, with equal Uber, though, if they've, like, pushed in through there like that, and you know they're up top, I mean, I guess you're going to want to trade Ubers at some point, and just try and, like, get kills on the side, like the demo or the scout, like, rush one of your scouts at them, or take your Uber at them, or anything like that. You really, like, attacking second, somehow you need to repel them once they're in your point, and usually you do that by getting kills. Like, it's not one where you just really muscle them out if they've come up through top. If they come in through left or through right, like through Z or through roller, definitely you can muscle them out. But otherwise, if they're committing, you really are going to have a better Uber, or if not a better Uber, then somehow on the flank you're going to have to get a couple of post-Uber kills and make it all worth it.
Yeah,
okay.